Well, good day, my friends. Welcome to Welcome. Yes, I kid you not. I am in Welcome, North Carolina, and today we are going to check out some of the coolest race cars in NASCAR history. We are at the Childress Museum, and the name sounds familiar to you. You might have watched him as a racer. You might know him as being one of the richest men in North Carolina, and that primarily is because of his phenomenal racing team that was headed up by Dale Earnhardt at one point, and I believe inside this museum they have some of those early cars. So let's go check it out. Daze with Jordan the Lion. It begins right now. I did try and go visit the Dale Earnhardt Museum, but when I got over there, it was closed, and there was no reason why it was closed. I called, left a message trying to find out, and it's just online. People say they went by there and it's just never open. So we're gonna check this out, and we'll get to see some Dale Earnhardt in here. I'm pretty excited to see this. Welcome is pretty close to Greensboro, if you're kind of wondering on the map. As soon as we walk in, it's $10, and look at that. That's one of the cars that really kind of started it all. Look at that. This is so cool. It says this was the Wrangler Monte Carlo that Dale raced in '86 and '87. He ended up winning 16 victories. Wow. And then that's Richard and Dale at the Atlanta Raceway after he won. And the cup that they're holding right there is actually right there in the glass. Pretty freaking cool. That is one of the most important cars we'd want to see, honestly. Wow, that is so cool. And look at the mural over here to Dale. Lost his life during a race. Man, this guy won them all. Unbelievable. There is the cup, the actual cup, presented to Richard Childress, and him receiving it in the background. All right, we're just gonna feed the turnstile and go on in. A little bit of history on the walls and lots of cars. There's Richard. Then it shows him starting up his own company, becoming an independent owner, and then becoming a full-time owner. Part of the deal was, I guess he wanted Dale to drive his car, his number 3 car. This building was actually the original engine shop from 1987 through the 1999 season. Wow, how cool. So they would have worked on all of these cars, all Dale cars. That is amazing. Home of the Unical 76 Pit Crew Champions. Wow. The lead engine builder's room is right here. Lou LaRosa was the head engine builder when the shop opened in '87. And then down here we have the engine teardown room. I love the way this is laid out. They kind of have a rail to show you how to take the tour. Qualifying engine room. Even a photo of what it looks like in there. And then over here in the corner, this was Richard's office. That is pretty cool. We'll work our way down there later. Here's one of the cars, Dale driving it, and the RCR engine. And here we go. In the engine room, they're displaying all these Dale Earnhardt race cars. See his name right up there. The silver Goodwrench number 3. Famous Quicksilver car that Dale drove back in 1995 Winston Select. Marked the first time that RCR changed from the black paint scheme that is now synonymous with the number 3. The silver paint scheme was in honor of the silver anniversary of R.J. Reynolds' sponsorship of NASCAR Winston Cup. Earnhardt was a 3-time winner, 87, 90, and 93 in the first 10 years of the event. And for the 95 race, Earnhardt started 4th, finishing 7th in the first segment, 3rd in the second segment, and crashed on the first lap of the final segment to finish 14th. Then over here we have obviously his Atlanta 96 Olympic car. Not all of the cars have plaques with information, unfortunately. Like, they could have probably put one right there, but they don't have one, so. But look at that, the 87 championship back there. Here's his Wheaties car. This is pretty cool. The Goodwrench Wheaties. And of course, Dale on the cover of the Wheaties box.
Software to design and build hundreds of racing airplanes.
The Wheaties paint scheme and other Sam Bass design hit the track for the Winston 1997. Dale Earnhardt was the first motorsport celebrity to appear on a box of Wheaties, and for this promotion was on the box of Wheaties. Honey frosted Wheaties and crispy Wheaties with raisins.
It was here that the engines were built for all 6 of Dale Earnhardt's Cup Championship, as well as
Now here we have the Tasmanian Devil. And how much does it blow your mind that as we're seeing the actual cars that Dale Earnhardt raced in, one of the black 94 car is at his museum. You can see it through the glass, but just to see all these cars in one place, and it's actually in the workspace where they were working on the cars in the original races. So here we have the Coca-Cola sponsored 3 car. And then over here we have the 1996 AC Delco. This is the car that Dale raced in Japan in 1996 and 97. The original colors are shown on the car. This is the first NASCAR Winston Cup car to test the Suzuka Circuit Land. This road course car was then painted black, and Dale won the 1996 pole at Watkins Glen 2 weeks after his disastrous crash at Talladega. This being done with a broken collarbone and sternum. Wow. Over here we have the Bass Pro Shop car. Also, these are Monte Carlos. This was used for an exhibition race in 96 and 97. Then over here, back to the Wrangler jeans. And then, look at that one. Peter Max. Wild paint scheme was a creation of famed pop artist Peter Max for the Winston Cup in 2000. Dale started at 12th, was only 13th after the first segment and 10th after the second segment, but battled back strong for a 3rd place finish in the final segment. The 5 other races he competed in this car, in 2000, Earnhardt had 2 top 3 and 4 top 10 finishes. This is also the car that Keith Harvick used to qualify for the Winston in 2001. Very cool. Very cool. You can actually look inside. Man. Pretty freaking neat. Even over here they have his check that he would have won in '93. So we saw the 87 through, was this 91, 99 shop? Now we're going into what says the original shop, which we kind of walked in, but I didn't show anything of it. There we go. Man, they probably have just about everything in here. I can't imagine what they have. Here's a memorial plaque. '2001. His Oreo car. With one of the checks back here. Took second place in 2001 Daytona International Speedway. He was leading with 2 laps to go when Tony Stewart got by and won with 0.0145 seconds. Special paint scheme was part of a promotional program with Nabisco. And then there, that painting has that car. And then over here, this is the 2,500 at Talladega Speedway. Some say this was his most incredible win ever in this car. And they have a lot of Goodrich cars here. That is great. This one was his 1995 Atlanta Motor Speedway victory. He dominated the 95 race, leading 268 of 328 laps. Wow. His car earned 6 top 10 finishes in 7 races it competed in, including second in the 1996 Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And look, they even have some of the races that they're going to race on the chalkboard. They have some of the toolboxes. Another one of Dale's checks from Winston Cup. I'll show you that. Haven't really been showing those, but I believe they have the very last car, the car that he passed away in. This is the 1995 Brickyard 400 winner, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He led the final 28 laps to beat Rusty Wallace. Then over here, this was March 2000 Atlanta Motor Speedway victory in this car. He drove to a dramatic victory, it says. He led 3 times for 36 laps, including the final 20, but it was the incredible battle to the checkered flag with Bobby Labonte that is best remembered. The number 3 GM Goodrich Service Plus Chevrolet edged out Labonte's number 18 Pontiac by 0.010 seconds for Earnhardt's record 9th victory at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And then it says Kevin Harvick drove this car also in 7 races, including the race at North Carolina Motor Speedway. He earned 4 top 10 finishes in this car. And then they're actually showing some of the races up here. One of the advertisements for it. And then now we're following the tour through here. This is probably, oh, there's the tire shop over here. But this is where they would have brought the cars in. Over here we have the wash bay, so they're working under the cars, can see somebody is under there working, where they'd wash it, clean it up and everything. And then going to the transporter bay. Oh wow, look at all the cars. And we actually get to go inside the transporter truck with Dale's name and everything. This is gonna be great. Coffee, anyone? Oh, wow. Some of his racewear. Wow. Yep, he ate Lay's potato chips just like the rest of us. Probably sponsored by the Oreos. Oh, there's his satellite dish. The headphones and radios. Oil. Wow, pretty cool. Just lots of parts and springs and doohickeys, extra engines. Wow, this is a really cool experience. Walking through this. Neat. That was really, really freaking neat. You can see people have apparently signed the walls and stuff, left like memorials to Dale. Now in here it says this is where the research and development was. You can see those in, if you ever seen Days of Thunder, they have that over top of the car when they're building the car. So this car began as a number 3 Wrangler and was a workhorse during RCR's championship. So they're showing how they would make them over here. And I love that when we get to the other side of the washing bay, they have this little sign. Dale Earnhardt, the winningest driver in the history of the Daytona International Speedway. So then get to see the car being built in here. Fabrication. So here's the model for what they would be making, the 1990 Lumina. You have one back there kind of being completed. There's somebody welding right there. There's the frame. They fabricate all of it. Imagine that being a driver and coming in and you could just see your car being built piece by piece. You'd definitely be able to like trust your car a little bit more. Look at all these decorated win pictures up here. Like almost every victory is memorialized in a painting. I think right at the end of the tour, we get to pay our respects to Dale. Now this room has pretty much everybody, you know, there's Dale Jr.'s car, everybody else that raced for Childress. Ricky Rudd over here. I'm not gonna focus too much on those. These are Kevin Harvick's, mainly because kind of more into the Dale Earnhardt stuff today, but I'll show a little bit. Here's Kyle Busch. They're all part of the Childress team. His 1998 Daytona 500 winner. He won the 1998 Daytona 500 in this. Came straight from the Daytona Museum, is now on display here. He said you'll notice, it says on there, the rear bumper from teammate Mike Skinner as he helped push Dale to victory. So he was back there bumping him into the wind, rubbing him, what they say. And then this is an actual piece of the Daytona pavement. First raced 1979. And then there's some memorial flowers. And that is really cool to see. They not only have the car, but they have the trophy over here. And they have a few more of his cars here on display as well. Let's see, this was the plus car. These are all Winston Cup trophies awarded to Richard Childress Racing. And here we have, this was back in the original shop. When we were checking out, we only saw half the room because I thought it looped around, but there you can see just the frame, chassis, says that this was only on the track 4 times. Says that it was used for Dale to qualify and finish 8th in the 2000 Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis Speedway. 2001 had to be unloaded for the Winston at Lowe's Motor Speedway after Kevin Harvick wrecked the primary car in a first lap accident. The rear brakes locked up shortly after the race resumed, forcing Harvick to return to the pits. The brakes were released, but the car only completed 19 laps before the engine let go. Yikes. Wow, that is a lot of Dale Earnhardt race cars, isn't it? This one you can actually take a photo inside of, but we looked at all of these. We saw the earlier ones in the other room that was actually over there. So these are all Good Wrench cars that he raced. Chassis number 51. And then over here, you got some tires. That one's being worked on as well. The road course car, chassis number 4. And then over here, chassis number 56. Wow, look at those shredded tires. That was the 1990 blowout at Daytona. He had the finish line in sight and he suffered a blowout to his right front tire on the last lap by running over a piece of metal in the track. Luck was not with Richard Childress Racing that day. That very tire that cost us the race. Wow. Jerk. Wow, it is so cool that they turned the old headquarters to build these into a museum. Wow. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I loved it. Take a photo inside the car. And you actually can open this up. Maybe I will. Just maybe I will. Well, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Thank you for watching from Dale Earnhardt's race car. We will see you next time. Have a great night and goodbye.